America's retail heartbeat is fading. Walmart shuttered, CVS gone. Prices through the roof, entire neighborhoods left behind. This isn't a distant issue. It's happening in towns like yours right now. And today, we reveal the 10 states at the center of this retail storm. Is your state next? Let's find out. Picture this. You pull into your usual Walmart lot and the store's boarded up overnight. No notice, no farewell, just silence. For millions of Americans, this isn't a thought experiment. It's their new reality. Once a symbol of abundance, American shopping is becoming a luxury. Groceries, sky high, prescriptions, out of reach. Even basic electronics feel like splurges. In Seattle, one mom told us, it's not just the prices, it's the panic of not knowing what comes next. Retail giants, Walmart, CVS, even Apple, are vanishing from communities overnight, leaving job losses, empty shelves, and economic deserts behind. Thousands are affected, and some states are being hit harder than others. We're counting down the 10 states spiraling fastest into this retail crisis. First up, a place once known for outlet malls and megastores, now eerily quiet. Can you guess it? Stick around. This might hit closer to home than you think. New York. New Yorkers, do you remember the chaos of weekend shopping at Target in Brooklyn? Or the joy of picking out Christmas decorations at Best Buy with your family? Those vibrant scenes are fading fast. In just the past year, nearly 1,000 retail stores have shuttered across the state. We're talking big names: CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Bed Bath & Beyond, and even Macy's, the iconic Manhattan staple that defined American retail for generations. Now, for lease signs are popping up more than neon lights, and the silence is deafening. Have you seen empty storefronts in your neighborhood? Hit that share button and tag a friend who's noticed this too. The numbers tell a grim story. New York's retail sector unemployment rate has spiked to over 7.5%, the highest since the pandemic, according to the State Department of Labor. Cashiers, salespeople, and warehouse workers, people who kept these stores running, are now out of work, with no warning and no safety net. One former CVS cashier in Queens shared, "I worked there for 15 years. One day they told us the store was closing. Now I'm scrambling to pay rent in one of the most expensive cities in the world." Consumers are feeling the pinch too. Fewer stores mean fewer choices and skyrocketing prices. Commercial rent in residential areas jumped 11% in a single year, and New York City's cost of living is double the national average. A Brooklyn dad told us, "I'm rushing to buy jeans for my daughter before prices climb again. I used to shop for fun. Now it's a race against inflation." Older residents, unfamiliar with online shopping, are forced to travel miles for basics like food and medicine, all while gas prices keep rising. In small towns like Syracuse and Buffalo, the loss is even more devastating. Rural Walmarts and dollar stores were lifelines for low-income families. Now, some communities have no grocery stores within a 20-mile radius. One Syracuse grandma said, "I used to walk to Walgreens for my heart medication. Now I rely on my neighbor's car, but she's struggling too." Have you lost a local store? Share your story in the comments. Some New Yorkers are stockpiling to beat price hikes. A Staten Island couple said, "We're hitting Costco every month, loading up on emergency supplies, canned goods, toiletries, you name it. It's the only way to stay ahead." Are you stockpiling too? Let us know what's in your cart. Here's the real gut punch. New York's financial markets are booming, and corporations are raking in profits. Yet loyal neighborhoods are being abandoned without a word. If the nation's commercial capital can't keep its stores open, what's happening in smaller, less powerful states? Let's head west to find out. California. California was once the ultimate shopping paradise. Remember the thrill of lining up at Best Buy for Black Friday deals or hitting Macy's for their legendary sales? Cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego were bursting with bustling commercial avenues that fueled American consumer dreams. But those lights are dimming fast. In 2024 alone, over 1,500 stores closed across the state. Target, CVS, Walgreens, Nordstrom, and even Walmart are slashing branches left and right. Californians, drop an icon heart in the comments if your local store has closed. Let's see how many of us are affected. For many, especially in rural and suburban areas, California now feels like a retail desert. A Fresno resident said, "Our Walmart closed last year. Now the nearest grocery is 30 miles away. With gas prices, it's a $20 trip just to buy milk." The elderly, who often don't shop online, and low-income families without cars are hit hardest. A San Diego retiree shared, "I used to walk to CVS for my prescriptions. Now I wait for a bus that comes once an hour, if I'm lucky." Did you know consumer goods prices in California have jumped 9.1% in the past year, according to UC Berkeley? That's higher than the national average. Comment below. Are you feeling this price surge? One mom of 3 in Oakland broke down her grocery bill. "I spent $338 on a week's worth of food, mostly chicken, sausages, and basics. That's all we can afford, and it's not enough." She reminisced about her childhood, when her family always had fruit, snacks, and orange juice for guests. Now, a box of strawberries costs $25. My kids don't even know what it's like to have extras. Her question haunts, would our parents have been shocked at these prices? Are you struggling to afford groceries? Share your weekly food budget in the comments. Workers are suffering too. Retail jobs, once a reliable income for millions, are disappearing. A former Target employee in Sacramento said, "I was let go when our store closed. At 55, it's nearly impossible to find another job. Companies are replacing us with AI or cutting back entirely." If California, the poster child of the American dream, can't sustain its retail chains, what hope is there for the rest of us? In rural areas like the Central Valley, the impact is catastrophic. Small towns that relied on a single Walmart or dollar store are now ghost towns. Local businesses, diners, barbershops, gas stations are closing too as foot traffic dries up. A Bakersfield shop owner said, "When Walmart left, my cafe lost half its customers. I don't know how much longer I can hold on." Have small businesses in your town taken a hit? Let us know. Texas. Texas has long been hailed as the mecca of shopping malls, with low taxes, affordable prices, and a reasonable cost of living. Cities like Austin and Houston are still seeing commercial growth, but beneath the surface, a troubling reality is emerging. In 2024, over 300 major retail stores closed across the state: Walmart, Walgreens, Dollar Tree, CVS, and more. Even fast-growing suburbs aren't immune. Texans, how far do you have to drive to shop now? Drop the miles in the comments, and let's see who's got the longest trip. In places like El Paso and Houston suburbs, the elderly are struggling most. A 72-year-old El Paso resident said, "I used to walk to Walmart for groceries and my meds. Now it's a 45-minute drive and I don't have a car. My kids can't always help." Without access to basics, many are forced to rely on expensive convenience stores or skip essentials altogether. One Houston teacher shared a heartbreaking story. "My students' families can't afford food since our local grocery closed. Kids come to school hungry and I'm dipping into my own pocket for snacks." Teachers, parents, anyone, have you seen this in your community? Share below. Rising operating costs are forcing stores to close as corporations prioritize profits over people. This means job losses for thousands of workers, cashiers, stockers, drivers, who are left scrambling. A former Walmart employee in Dallas said, "I supported my family for years. Now I'm driving for Uber, barely making ends meet." Meanwhile, food and consumer goods prices are climbing, forcing families to shop less or drive long distances to find affordable options. The ripple effects are devastating. When big stores close, small businesses, like mom-and-pop shops and local restaurants, lose customers. Neighborhoods feel less safe, real estate values drop, and community gathering spots vanish. In Lubbock, a resident said, "Our Walmart was where we met friends, grabbed coffee, and felt connected. Now it's just an empty lot. What's the heart of your community, and is it still there? Tell us." Texas consumers face a tough choice: pay high prices at remaining stores, or order online with pricey shipping fees and long wait times. Why is a state as vast and prosperous as Texas struggling to keep a can of soup or a bottle of medicine affordable? If Texas can't hold on, what's happening in less advantaged states? Mississippi. In Mississippi, Walmart wasn't just a store, it was the soul of the community. Families shopped, friends chatted, and neighbors connected. But now, those hubs are disappearing. In the past 18 months, over 700 retail stores have closed statewide, including Dollar Tree, CVS, Walgreens, and even Walmart. Shockingly, 40% of rural counties are now food deserts, with no large-scale grocery stores for miles. Mississippians, share a memory of your local Walmart or dollar store in the comments. Let's keep those moments alive. The reasons are complex. High taxes, outdated infrastructure, and a lack of state policies to retain businesses are driving retailers away. Add to that a mass exodus of young people, leaving behind aging communities with limited purchasing power. A Tupelo resident said, "Our town is mostly seniors now. We don't have the population to keep stores open, but we still need them." Did you know basic expenses like diapers, food, and medicine have jumped 10 to 20% in Mississippi? How are you coping with these prices? Drop your tips in the comments. For workers, store closures mean more than inconvenience. They're losing their livelihoods. Thousands who worked at local stores are now unemployed, often without benefits. A former Dollar Tree cashier in Jackson said, "I was the breadwinner for my family. Now we're behind on bills, and there's no jobs hiring." Consumers are struggling too, forced to buy from overpriced stores or drive long distances. A mom in Biloxi said, "I spent $50 on a small bag of groceries, mostly canned goods. My kids need fresh food, but we can't afford it." The impact on kids is heartbreaking. Cheap, nutrient-poor meals are becoming the norm, threatening the health of the next generation. A pediatrician in Hattiesburg warned, "We're seeing more kids with diet-related issues, obesity, diabetes, because families can't access affordable, healthy food." Parents, are you worried about your kids' nutrition? Share your thoughts below. When profit is the only priority, entire communities are left without options. CEOs call these closures necessary. But what's necessary about abandoning people who need a modest store to survive? Mississippi's story is a warning for us all. We've covered 4 states, but 6 more are facing this retail nightmare. Which ones are next? And is your state on the list? Keep watching to find out. From New York to Mississippi, millions are losing access to life's essentials. It's not just about stores, it's about jobs, hope, and feeling valued. Which state are you in? Are your stores still open? Share your story in the comments. If this video hit home, smash that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Let's get 10,000 likes to spark a nationwide conversation. Illinois. Illinois, the industrial heartland of America, is losing its retail pulse. Walgreens, headquartered in Chicago, has closed hundreds of stores across the state, a bitter irony for a company born in the land of Lincoln. CVS, Walmart, Dollar Tree, and even Target are following suit, with over 800 store closures reported in 2024 alone. From Chicago's bustling South Side to rural towns like Peoria, the impact is staggering. Empty storefronts, deserted parking lots, and communities left grappling with the fallout. Why are stores closing in neighborhoods that need them most? Drop your theory in the comments. The ripple effects are devastating, especially for low-income families and seniors. In Chicago's Inglewood neighborhood, a former Walgreens was a lifeline for affordable prescriptions and groceries. Now residents must travel 40 minutes by bus to reach the nearest pharmacy, often paying 30% more for medications due to limited options. A Chicago retiree shared, "I'm on a fixed income. I used to walk to Walgreens for my diabetes meds. Now, I'm rationing pills to save money. It's terrifying." Have you had to make tough choices like this? Share your story below. Rural areas are hit even harder. In towns like Decatur, the closure of a single Walmart can devastate the local economy. A Decatur farmer said, "Our Walmart was where we got everything: groceries, tools, clothes. Now it's a 50-mile round trip to the nearest store. With gas at $4 a gallon, that's money I don't have." Small businesses are suffering too. A local diner owner in Springfield reported, "When Target closed, my lunch crowd disappeared. I'm barely breaking even." Here's a jaw-dropper. Illinois' retail vacancy rate has climbed to 12.3%, the highest in a decade, according to the Illinois Retail Merchants Association. That's thousands of empty stores. Are you seeing more for lease signs in your town? Let us know in the comments. Workers are bearing the brunt. Retail jobs, once a stable entry point for young people and second careers for older adults, are vanishing. Former CVS employee in Rockford said, "I worked 20 years at that store. They gave us 2 weeks notice, no severance. Now I'm competing with teenagers for fast food jobs." The state's retail unemployment rate has surged to 6.8%, leaving thousands scrambling. Meanwhile, prices for basics like milk, bread, and diapers have jumped 8.5% in a year, forcing families to cut corners. A Joliet mom confessed, "I'm buying day-old bread and skipping fresh veggies. My kids deserve better, but I can't afford it." Illinois was once a symbol of the middle class, hardworking families, thriving communities, and accessible shopping. Now, it's becoming a symbol of abandonment. If this is happening in the heart of America, what's next? Drop an icon heart in the comments if your local store has closed, and let's show the world how widespread this is. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's steel towns and historic cities once buzzed with life, their Walmarts, Kmarts, and CVS's serving as community hubs. But the tide has turned. From 2022 to 2024, over 700 stores have closed statewide, including Walmart, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and Dollar General. In Philadelphia, rental costs have soared 9.6%, pushing retailers out of once thriving neighborhoods. In rural areas like Scranton, the loss of a single store can leave entire counties without access to essentials. Pennsylvanians, snap a pic of a closed store near you and tag us on social media. Let's spread the word. In Pittsburgh's Hill District, the closure of a CVS left residents with no nearby pharmacy. A single mother shared, "I have asthma and 2 kids with allergies. The nearest pharmacy is a 30-minute bus ride, and the prices there are insane. Sometimes I skip my inhaler to afford theirs." For the elderly, the situation is dire. A 78-year-old in Erie said, "I used to walk to Rite Aid for my blood pressure meds. Now, I rely on a neighbor, but she's not always available. I'm scared of what happens if I run out." Have you or someone you know been affected like this? Share in the comments. Small towns are crumbling under the weight of these closures. In Johnstown, a Walmart closure triggered a domino effect. Local hardware stores, cafes, and even a barbershop shut down as foot traffic vanished. A barbershop owner said, "That Walmart brought people to our street. Now it's a ghost town and I'm next." The state's rural retail vacancy rate has hit 14%, and food deserts are expanding, with 25% of rural residents living more than 10 miles from a grocery store. Did you know Pennsylvania's grocery prices have spiked 9.2% in the past year, outpacing inflation? A Lancaster family said, "We spent $200 on groceries, mostly canned goods and pasta." Fresh meat? Forget it. What's the most expensive item in your grocery cart right now? Drop it in the comments. Retail workers are struggling to find new jobs. A former Walgreens cashier in Allentown said, "I'm 45 with no college degree. The only jobs left are gig work or warehouses, and they don't pay enough to cover my bills." With 5,000 retail jobs lost in 2024 alone, the state's unemployment offices are overwhelmed. Meanwhile, corporations report record profits, raising questions about why communities are being left behind. Pennsylvania's proud working-class heritage is under threat. Can it survive this retail collapse? If you're in Pennsylvania, let's make some noise. Share this video with a friend who's lost a local store, and let's hit 5,000 likes to shine a light on this crisis. Michigan. Michigan, the land of car factories, Great Lakes, and 24/7 convenience, is facing a retail reckoning. Detroit is losing stores fastest, with Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Dollar Tree pulling out of low-income neighborhoods. Across the state, over 600 stores closed in 2024, leaving gaping holes in communities from Flint to Grand Rapids. Rising operational costs and declining foot traffic are to blame, but the human cost is what hits hardest. If you're in Michigan, how's this affecting you? Share your story below and let's get 1,000 likes to raise awareness. In Flint, the closure of a Walmart left residents driving 45 minutes for groceries, a brutal reality in a city already struggling with infrastructure challenges. A Flint mom said, "I don't have a car. I take 2 buses to get food, and it's not enough to feed my 3 kids. We're living on ramen and canned soup." For seniors, the loss of pharmacies is life-threatening. A 70-year-old in Lansing shared, "My CVS closed. Now, I order meds online, but shipping takes a week. What if I can't wait that long?" Here's a gut punch. 30% of Detroit residents now live in food deserts, according to the Michigan Department of Health. That's thousands without access to fresh food. Are you seeing food deserts in your area? Comment below. The economic fallout is brutal. Retail closures have wiped out 4,000 jobs in Michigan this year, hitting young workers and single parents hardest. A former Dollar Tree employee in Saginaw said, "I was supporting my daughter on that job. Now I'm on food stamps, and we're still hungry." Small businesses are collapsing too. In Kalamazoo, a family-owned bakery closed after a nearby Target shut down. The owner said, "We relied on their customers. Without them, we couldn't survive." Remember the days of grabbing a late-night snack at a 24/7 Walmart or browsing Kmart for back-to-school deals? Those memories are fading fast in Michigan. What store do you miss most from your childhood? Share in the comments and let's reminisce. Michigan's auto industry once symbolized American resilience, but now entire neighborhoods are deserted, with boarded-up stores and fading hope. If a state as gritty as Michigan is being left behind, what does that say about the rest of the country? We're not done yet. 3 more states are on this heartbreaking list. Will your state be next? Keep watching. Georgia. Georgia's small towns and vibrant cities once thrived on the convenience of Dollar General, CVS, Walmart, and Kroger. But now, hundreds of stores have vanished, with over 500 closures in 2024 alone. Georgia's small towns and vibrant cities once thrived on the convenience of Dollar General, CVS, Walmart, and Kroger. From rural counties to Atlanta's suburbs, the loss of these stores has left 20-mile gaps to the nearest grocery, turning shopping into a grueling ordeal for many. Georgians, what store do you miss most? Comment below and let's reminisce. In rural areas like Macon County, the closure of a Dollar General was a death knell for the community. A local pastor said, "That store was our only place for groceries and basics. Now families drive 25 miles to shop, and many can't afford the gas." Low-income residents are turning to overpriced convenience stores, where a loaf of bread can cost $5. A Savannah mom shared, "I spent $60 on a bag of groceries, mostly snacks and cereal. My kids ask for fruit, but it's too expensive." Have you had to cut back on fresh food? Share your grocery struggles below. Did you know Georgia's rural areas have seen a 15% increase in food insecurity since 2022, according to the Georgia Food Bank Association? That's thousands of families going hungry. How are you coping with rising food costs? Drop your tips in the comments. Workers are reeling from the closures. Retail jobs, a lifeline for Georgia's working class, are disappearing. A former Walmart cashier in Augusta said, "I lost my job when our store closed. Now I'm cleaning houses, but it's not enough to cover rent and childcare." With 3,500 retail jobs lost this year, families are falling behind on bills. Small businesses are hurting too. In Albany, a hardware store owner said, "When CVS left, our foot traffic dropped by half. I'm selling online now, but it's not the same." The impact on kids is heartbreaking. In Columbus, a teacher noticed her students coming to school without lunch. "Their parents lost access to our local grocery store," she said. "I'm buying snacks for the class, but it's not enough." Teachers, parents, have you seen kids going hungry in your community? Share your story below. Georgia's warm southern hospitality is being tested as communities lose their gathering spots. When profit-driven corporations abandon towns, they take more than just stores. They take away hope. If Georgia, a state of growth and opportunity, is struggling, what's happening elsewhere? When profit-driven corporations abandon towns, they take more than just stores. They take away hope. Georgians, let's make this go viral. Share this video with someone who's lost a local store, and let's hit 10,000 views to spread the word. Nevada. Nevada's Las Vegas Strip dazzles with neon lights and endless entertainment, but just 20 minutes away, the reality is grim. Walmart, Walgreens, Target, and Dollar General are vanishing, with over 410 stores closed across the state in the past 2 years. Shockingly, 25% of retail space in suburban and rural areas now sits vacant, turning once thriving shopping centers into eerie ghost towns. From Henderson to Reno, Nevada's communities are grappling with the loss of access to essentials. Nevada viewers, share this video with a friend who's lost a local store. Let's get this to 10,000 views. The impact is hitting hardest for night shift workers, seniors, and low-income families. In North Las Vegas, a casino worker said, "I work graveyard shifts and used to grab groceries at Walmart on my way home. Now, the nearest store is a 30-minute drive, and I'm too exhausted to make the trip." For seniors, the loss of pharmacies is a crisis. A 75-year-old Reno resident shared, "My Walgreens closed last year. I don't drive, and the nearest pharmacy is 15 miles away. My daughter has to take time off work to help me, and it's not fair to her." Have you or a loved one struggled to get medications? Drop your story in the comments. Rural Nevada is in dire straits. In towns like Elko, the closure of a single Dollar General has left residents with no grocery store within 40 miles. A local rancher said, "We used to stock up on canned goods and basics at Dollar General. Now it's a 2-hour round trip to shop, and gas prices eat up what little we save." Small businesses are collapsing too. A cafe owner in Carson City reported, "When Target left, my breakfast crowd dropped by 60%. I'm selling my business before I lose everything." Here's a stunner. Nevada's cost of living has risen 8.7% in the past year, with grocery prices jumping 10.2%, according to the Nevada Department of Business and Industry. A Henderson mom said, "I spent $150 on a week's groceries, mostly pasta and frozen meals. Fresh produce is a luxury we can't afford." What's the priciest item in your grocery cart? Share below. Retail workers are being left behind. With 2,800 retail jobs lost in 2024, many are turning to gig work or leaving the state altogether. A former Target employee in Sparks said, "I was let go with no warning. At 50, I'm driving for DoorDash, but it barely covers my rent." Meanwhile, the state's retail vacancy rate has hit 13.5%, and food deserts are expanding, with 20% of rural Nevadans living more than 10 miles from a grocery store. Las Vegas may never sleep, but its quiet communities are being forgotten. Nevada's glitz hides a harsh truth. While tourists flock to the Strip, locals are struggling to buy milk or medicine. If a state built on prosperity can't keep its stores open, what hope is there for others? Drop a cyan heart in the comments if your local store has closed, and let's show how widespread this crisis is. Let's make some noise, Nevada! Tag a friend who's been affected by store closures, and let's hit 1,000 likes to raise awareness. Ohio. Ohio, the heartland of America, was once a beacon of stability, with bustling Walmarts, CVS's, and Dollar Trees anchoring communities from Cleveland to Cincinnati. Now, those anchors are being ripped away. Over 650 stores have closed across the state in 2024, including Dollar Tree, CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart, with low-income areas hit hardest. Neighborhoods are turning into retail deserts, leaving families, seniors, and workers struggling to survive. Ohioans, are your stores still open? Comment your city and let's map this crisis together. In Youngstown, a 70-year-old retiree shared a heartbreaking story. "My Walmart closed last year. I live alone, no car, and the nearest grocery is a 20-mile bus ride. I'm eating canned soup because it's all I can carry." For families, the situation is just as dire. An Akron mom said, "I can't afford both food and medicine. My grocery bill was $180 for a week. Mostly bread and peanut butter. My kids haven't had fresh fruit in months." Have you had to make tough choices between food and other essentials? Share below. Rural Ohio is being hollowed out. In towns like Zanesville, the closure of a Dollar Tree left residents with no store within 30 miles. A local farmer said, "That store was our lifeline for groceries and farm supplies. Now we're spending $50 in gas just to shop." Small businesses are collapsing too. A diner owner in Dayton reported, "When CVS closed, my lunchtime crowd vanished. I'm down to 3 customers a day." The state's retail vacancy rate has climbed to 11.8%, and 15% of rural Ohioans now live in food deserts. Did you know Ohio's grocery prices have surged 9.5% in the past year, according to the Ohio Department of Commerce? A Toledo family said, "We're spending $200 a week on basics. No meat, no extras. It's not enough to feed our family of 5. What's your weekly grocery budget? Drop it in the comments. Retail workers are facing a bleak future. With 4,500 retail jobs lost in 2024, many are turning to low-paying gig work or leaving Ohio entirely. A former Walgreens employee in Columbus said, "I worked there for 12 years. Now I'm delivering pizzas, but it doesn't cover my bills." The ripple effects are devastating. Neighborhoods feel less safe, property values are dropping, and community gathering spots are disappearing. A Cleveland resident said, "Our Walmart was where we met friends and felt connected. Now it's a vacant lot, and our town feels empty." The impact on kids is gut-wrenching. A Cincinnati teacher shared, "My students come to school hungry because their parents can't access affordable groceries. I'm buying granola bars out of my own pocket, but it's not enough." Teachers' parents, have you seen kids struggling in your community? Share your story below. Ohio's proud heartland spirit is being tested. Store closures aren't just about business, they're breaking communities, families, and dreams. If Ohio, the backbone of America, is crumbling, what does that mean for the rest of us? We've covered all 10 states, but the story doesn't end here. What's causing this crisis, and how can we fight back? Stay tuned for next week's video. You won't want to miss it. From New York to Ohio, millions are losing access to life's essentials. It's not just about stores, it's about jobs, hope, and feeling seen. Which state are you in? Are your stores still open? Share your story below. If this video hit home, smash that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Let's spark a conversation. This video uses public data from articles, reports, and social media for analysis. It's for informational purposes only, not to attack any group or business. Our goal? To spark critical thinking and community dialogue. Next week, we're diving into what you can do to fight back against this retail crisis. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss it.